thanks to high pressure that was out in the Atlantic. Now, if they held off for a couple of days, I imagine that the conditions wouldn't be as good because this cold front would make its way into Florida. Now, that cold front's not going to impact us at all. Today, we're just looking at relatively dry and hot conditions. Looking ahead to Easter weekend, tomorrow we're hot with a temperature of 87 degrees. It's going to be windy with gusts as high as about 30 miles and 35 miles per hour with a small chance for rainfall. Then Saturday evening is when we have our next front push in. This will bring in some rainfall and it will drop our high temperatures into the 60s for Easter Sunday. So already making those Easter Sunday plans, you might want to include a rain jacket as well as a regular jacket. So this front will move across the state of Texas, supplying some severe weather up north. We could even get a couple of thunderstorms here in the coastal bend. But overall, we're looking at that rainfall increasing Saturday evening into Sunday and looking like that rain may linger into Sunday afternoon and Monday as well. So for now, just know it's going to be cooler and breezy on Easter Sunday, with scattered showers in the forecast and temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Most of us will be in the 60s, though, especially for our inland spots. Brush country, some forecast high temperatures for Sunday might even reach the upper 50s. So certainly something that we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. So what's the weather impact alert? Well, it's going to be that cold front that moves through Saturday evening into Sunday, producing wind gusts on Sunday of about 25 to 30 miles per hour. But in those thunderstorms, if we get any, we could see some higher wind gusts and some heavier rainfall. And temperatures will fall into the 60s and 70s. Now, in terms of how much rainfall we're going to receive, not much has changed. Still central and north Texas up into Oklahoma. We'll see the highest rainfall, but we could see some pockets of maybe 1.5 inches of precipitation underneath some of those heavier downpours. So looks like we're trending on the upward side for rainfall amounts. Looks like, though, no higher than 2 inches of precipitation for us here in the coastal bend. Outside right now, it is breezy. We have winds from our coastal parks beach cam at about 18 to 20 miles per hour. Everyone this morning feeling those very breezy conditions, 20 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds, and it'll stay that way throughout much of the day today, with gusts occasionally around 30, maybe as high as 35 miles per hour. So of course, we're watching that wind potential and fire potential today. It is going to be a little bit on the higher side in our southern and western locations, but because we have a lot more humidity, it's not extremely high, which is the good news. Looking at your 7-day forecast, a few isolated showers from about 15 to nearly 30 miles per hour right out of the south-southeast. So that's why we're already in the mid 70s this morning. Sustained winds at the airport, again, nearly 30 miles per hour, but most of us are in the range of 15 to about 20 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting around 30 to nearly 40 miles per hour. So it is a bit breezy to start off our day. And it's all thanks to a front that's gradually approaching central Texas. What's going to happen is this front's going to push south, and unfortunately it hits stable air, which means the front dissipates. We're not going to see a lot of rainfall today, but we'll start off with windy conditions, mostly cloudy conditions. And those winds will continue into tomorrow, along with the cloud cover as well. So at least for today, it's going to be warm. Temperatures reach the 80s and mid 90s with very breezy conditions, and an isolated shower or two cannot be ruled out. That's not really the big story for the day ahead. It's really just going to be the heat and the windy conditions. But we have some changes going into the holiday weekend. We'll have those details coming up in a few minutes. Now that front's not really going to make it into our area today, but it's overall a big complex system. There's this area of low pressure bringing showers and thunderstorms all the way up to the Midwest and then transitioning into snow from Minnesota over to parts of Michigan and Wisconsin. At the same time, there's another area of low pressure that's right off the mid-Atlantic. But here locally in the state of Texas, we're still looking at this cold front. But as it continues to march to the east, we start to see that cold front dissipating. So it's not going to make its way into the coastal bend. However, we could still have a few isolated showers this morning as well as this afternoon. Just like yesterday, there'll be some quick moving showers. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly cloudy. Then later on in the afternoon, we'll get some breaks in that cloud cover leading to partly cloudy conditions, but still kind of Mostly cloudy conditions for the day ahead, and then more clouds as we go into the overnight hours. Now, despite a lot of that cloud cover, today we're still going to be very warm with temperatures reaching the 80s and 90s. And it's all thanks to a southeasterly wind picking up at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. So if you're heading out to our beaches today, just keep in mind it's going to be cloudy. We'll have temperatures into the 70s. And we'll have a moderate risk of rip currents because of that onshore wind. And we have opening night at the hooks. Not too bad, a bit breezy, and looking like our winds will stay at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Some gusts at times nearly 30 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy to about partly cloudy conditions, but rain should stay out of the forecast for tonight. And then tomorrow, we're even warmer, but we have some big changes for this weekend, including rain and much cooler air for Easter. We'll have those details coming up in a few minutes.